Good morning, everybody out there in Zoom land. I'm gonna call it Zoom land. I look a little different this morning because I am coming live from my kitchen to show you a few things that you can do this holiday season. And first, I want to thank you for joining me on my continuing education using essential oils. Now, normally I'm talking about all of you and how you can incorporate essential oils into your lifestyle. This is another way of being able to do that. I love being in the kitchen. I love being able to experiment, and it's like I realized a long time ago when after I was introduced to the essential oils, I'm like, why am I buying imitation stuff at the store? That was a huge question for me, because I'm like, when you start looking at the labels and you realize that you have an imitation flavor, and it's like, so why am I, it's kind of like, why am I doing that, right? Why am I actually going in and I'm buying alcohol more than anything? I'm like, I don't want alcohol in my product. So what I want is something that is good for me and it's cost effective, which essential oils are. They're very, very economical. It's like even more so than when you go into the store and if you're using a quarter teaspoon of any kind of, like, let's say peppermint extract, okay? Well, considering it only costs you pennies for an essential oil, you don't even need a full drop sometimes of peppermint essential oil, especially doTERRA's essential oil, because it's so pure and potent that you don't need much. And so I've learned that even if I want to have, like, most of you are familiar with a box of brownie mix, okay? So pretty much everyone's made that. If I want it to be, if I wanted to have peppermint in there, I don't even need a full drop, and it tastes like peppermint in the batter. And I just use toothpick. So you just take a toothpick, like one of these or any toothpick, and dip it in the bottle of your essential oil and then swirl it in your batter. That's all you need. And that is super cost effective, because then you're even less money. So I think that's really, really super good. So today I want to help you, give you some ideas on what you can do with the essential oils. The first thing I want you to think about is everything that you make for the holiday season. What are you making? Are you making icing for cookies? A lot of people like to make those really special cookies for people. Flavor it. The essential oils are awesome for flavoring your frostings or your icings, and it only takes a little bit. And there again, depending on what you're using, whether it's a citrus or something more like, doTERRA has an On Guard, and it has clove and cinnamon. So depending on what you're using, you may only need the dip of the toothpick. Some of you might like to have a lot of flavor and you want that whole drop, okay? And it's so amazing what you can do with them. And people don't think about using the essential oils in the kitchen. So I have several different recipes I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to show you a couple of them. And one of them is not for eating, and I put that in the chat. I saved the recipe for it, but we're going to show you how to make fizzies too. But the other thing about that is, what else do you make? Things like jam or jellies. How can you enhance the flavor of what you're doing? So like lemon is such a good essential oil to add to, like, grape jelly or even strawberry, because it gives that tardiness, and it enhances what flavor you already are getting. And it's a beautiful one. And On Guard is another one of those too that I really love, because there again, you have the clove and you have the cinnamon, you have wild orange in there. It's wonderful. Now, the other recipe that I'm going to kind of help you understand is, I'm not going to show you, but I like making cream puffs. So if you've ever made cream puffs, and when you're making your cream or your filling, use essential oils. You don't need to use sugar, and you can eliminate the sugar. So if you're one of those that really love certain things, then and you don't need the sugar, then think about doing that and flavoring some of the stuff that you're making, and use your essential oils. And that's a huge thing, because I can have flavor, but it doesn't have to be super sweet. Okay, and so like I like cream puffs with wild orange. Oh my gosh, it's to die for. Literally, it really is. And it kind of gives it that sweetness all by itself. So that's another thing that's really awesome. And so today I am going to show you a couple things, and we'll get that started. Another one that I wanted to tell you, or I can give you a suggestion for, is pretzels. Pretzels are really super easy to make things out of. You can get those super big ones, you know, and you can dip them in white chocolate or just chocolate, and you can enhance the flavor of your chocolate with the essential oils, and then use sprinkles for it. I mean, you see that in the store all the time, but those are super easy for you to make. Now, another thing, you can get the little ones, not your little stick ones, but your regular pretzel, and you can dip them, even if it's half dipped in your chocolate or white chocolate, whatever you use. And then you can either cover it with chocolate or half of chocolate, but then you can actually put it in, or have crushed peppermint on top of it. That's super good too. So let's get started. Now, you might not see me entirely. I kind of did the best I could, because I don't have anybody here to hold anything. So I'm like trying to improvise, and I have my nice apron. But the first thing I'm going to show you is, who likes popcorn? Okay. Now, you can get almond bark. So this is the almond bark, like this. Okay. You can buy that from anywhere. And you can get the chocolate as well. That's white chocolate. But the other thing you can use, if you want to use this kind of stuff, you can, these too. Any chocolate chip. And you can have different flavors. So like there's peanut butter ones, and there's, you know, the white, there's the dark, there's milk, chocolate, there's all different flavors, right? So you choose what you want to do. I like the white chocolate for a reason, or the white almond bark. And I'll show you why. So the first thing we're going to do is, now I took 2 of those out of there. So they're just, depending on it, how much you use depends on how much you're making, okay? So this is a pretty good size bowl. I probably would only use 1 of these for the popcorn, but I'm going to do something else with it too. The first thing I'm doing, I have to melt the chocolate. This is the fastest way to melt my chocolate, for about roughly a minute. And while that's doing its thing, what I like to put in there is lime. So this is what I like, is the lime. I love lime. And this time of year, greens, reds are usually very vivid and very, I mean, you see red and green everywhere, right? So my white chocolate, almond bark with lime, and then I use food coloring, okay? And I can use the green in this case, because limes are green, right? And so we're going to color our chocolate. We're going to check it. Don't want to overdo it. And it's getting there. And so what we do is think about what it is that you want. If you want to color things, like even your cream puffs, you want to color them in orange, color them in orange. That's awesome. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Okay. Need just a little bit more. Now you can use a double boiler for those of you that are very nifty at a double boiler and you have one. I don't have one. I know out of everything that I have, I do not have a double boiler. I think I'm partial to my microwave. I think a lot of us are. It's a really easy and it's a faster way to do things, right? But not always the best way. So you have to experiment and decide which is the best way for you. Because I have totally overdone my almond bark to where it doesn't, you can't use it. So you have to be very careful. There we go. That was about a minute and a half for 2 of those. Now you're going to have to stir it up anyway. So this is what it's going to end up looking like. Okay, nice and creamy. And then we're going to add about, I'm going to kind of show you this. We're going to add oil, 2, 3, 4. 4 drops is plenty, probably more than really it needs. And stir it up. Now, it smells really good too. And lime is really good for respiratory issues, in case you didn't know that. And lime, if you're a beer drinker, try some lime, a drop or 2 of lime oil in your beer. You'd be surprised. Yeah. Couple drops of green. Okay. Now, when you're adding in color, you decide how much color you want. Do you want it to be very light? Do you want it to be very dark? You can blend colors together. And I'm going to put a couple more in there because I want it to be a darker green. I really want the green to show up. And I have a wooden spoon. And typically I will use wooden, metal, ceramic when I'm using essential oils. Okay. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see that green, probably not. Okay, so this is the easy part. Here's my popcorn. And I know you can't, I'm going to adjust my screen just a little bit. Maybe you can see it better. You'll see me maybe, but okay, I'll come over here a little bit more. And we're going to drizzle this around. Okay, I'm going to save some for a little bit for something else. And then just stir it up. This is all you have to do. Now, sometimes it's just as easier to use your hands versus the spoon. And I love doing this. And it's very yummy. Now, I didn't put a whole lot on here because not everybody likes, I just usually like just a very light coating, so it doesn't take very much. And my dogs are going to love me because I'm putting stuff on the floor and making a mess, which is typical of me anyway. You should see my kitchen sometimes. It becomes quite a mess. Okay, so that's all it is. And then just let it sit there, let it dry. Okay, you want to stir it occasionally because as it's drying, you don't want everything to be clumped together. So you can kind of stir it up here and there, but that's all it is. And just that much, coat it, all that popcorn. And the other thing that you can do is candies. How many of you make candies for Christmas? So if you get different, there are different molds you can get, or you can just make your own, okay? So you can get, these are like those silicone molds. Okay, this is a heart, but it's really flexible. You can buy these everywhere. And then this is something I just found it at the Goodwill one time, long time ago. So it's actually an ice cube tray, but this part of it is silicone. I can push on it. So if I put anything in here, I can push it out, which is nice. You can get other molds like this. These are more of a heart. This is a Jello mold. And you can also make things this way too. Now this is a Rice Krispie mold maker. And so some of these are really deep. And so you'll have, like if you're doing, instead of going out and buying the chocolates that you're going to put in the stocking, try this and use your essential oil in there. Okay. Now with this, even though it's plastic, I would spray it first with like I use an avocado spray. And so that you know that it's going to come out of here when it's done. Okay. So you don't break it. But this is another fantastic way of being able to make your own chocolates to put in that stocking stuffer. Okay. Now, I said that I was going to, so what I'm going to do, it won't be unless I put it in the refrigerator, but I'm going to take what's left and I'm going to put it in the mold. Okay. And I'm making a mess out of this one too because I don't have the right spoon. But when it's done, you can take it out of that mold. And now you have a lime candy. I'm going to try to get a little bit more out of this bowl. And people love homemade things. Okay, so I just put a couple of them in there. Now you can see that was only 2 of those cubes from the almond bar. And it made quite a bit. So 1 cube is going to go a long ways. So that, I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. Be right back. Okay. So now we've got the popcorn made, right? We're going to give that another little stir. And I'm going to set that aside. Set this aside. Okay. Now, so talking about things like the pretzels, the cream puffs, and all those other things, another little thing that I love to do that is very popular with my grandkids is bath fizzies. And it's fun because I get to put it in the water. It turns the water a color, whatever color it is, or whatever you've used. And then the other part of that is it fizzles. And so they're like, that's really cool, right? It's like that little volcano. Have you ever made that volcano when you were in school? When you did the experiment of vinegar and baking soda, you overdid it and it comes out the top, right? Well, it's kind of the idea of this as well. So bath fizzies are simple, simple, simple. And they're so simple that you just got to get the ingredients, okay? I love to go to Costco and get a big bag of baking soda because that goes a long way in this house. And it's the best economical. I think it's only like $6.50 for that big bag, and that's like a 2 pound, no, it's 13.5 pounds. So for, you know, roughly under $7, that's a really good buy. And so bath fizzy, and I need a wash rag. And so I'm gonna show you how to make this bath fizzy. And it's super easy, and I'll show you what they look like when they're done. And it's super easy to make a, well, I make little balls, okay? And those little balls are the easiest thing. Now you can, there again, when you're making a bath fizzy, you can also do molds, okay? And you can make it any shape you want. Now, if you get molds that are big enough, like for instance these, okay, see how deep those are? You could actually put a little toy in there. And so you put a little bit of your mixture in there first, then put your toy in there, or like maybe those row monkeys or things like that. That is a really cool way to give to your grandkids or kids and have fun with it. And it gets in the water, right? And those little animals or anything that you get that can grow when it's in the water, that's super fun for them, or anything else, right? Another idea for Christmas. All right, so the bath fizzy, super easy. I put the recipe on the chat, and so we have citrus acid. Now, when you go to your canning department of any store, this is where you're going to find it. Now, some stores do not carry this year-round, which I'm finding more and more are. Walmart carries this year round anymore, or at least some of them. At least in my area they do. And there's other places too. And make sure that it says citrus acid, not your fruit pectin, not your other stuff. Make sure it says citrus acid, okay? All it is a preservative. Now, and it's obviously it's okay to, you know, ingest. Yeah, I wouldn't want to just drink that though. All right, so we've got the baking soda. So this is my baking soda. It's a cup of baking soda. I'm gonna add that into my bowl. Get that out of the way. Okay, come over here. And then you have, it's a 1 cup of your citrus acid, which is the whole bottle. Okay, and I've already got it unsealed. So 1 cup, can we dump that in here too? Okay, and I always have to step back because the fumes of that make me, they like make me choke. They make me cough. Okay, all right. Then you have a 1/2 cup of your cornstarch. That's what this is, cornstarch. I'm gonna add that. Okay. And then we have coconut oil. Now you can get it in bulk. This is from doTERRA. It's only like a, what, not quite a 4 ounce, 3.8. That actually goes a long way. But I buy in bulk. I buy the 1 gallon sizes. And so we have 1/2 cup of fractionated coconut oil. Now, I have used other oils like almond oil, grapeseed oil, avocado oil, but I have found that the fractionated coconut oil works the best. And I think it's because it is more, it's not, the molecules are different. So the molecules in a fractionated coconut oil are smaller than your other oils. So it soaks into the skin a lot faster than any other of your oils. And so I think, so like if you have that greasy feeling, those are because the molecules are bigger. So I use the fractionated coconut oil. Totally works out better. Pour that in here. Okay. Now I need a spoon. And I'm going to use a wood spoon. Okay. And I'm going to start stirring it. But here's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm kind of going to make a little, told you it makes me cough. Okay. I'm just going to make, I'm not going to stir it all yet. I only have a little bit right here and it's kind of soupy. Okay. What I'm going to do is add my essential oil that I want to use and my color. So what color do we want? So let's say today we're going to do a purple. And the reason we're going to do purple is because I'm going to use lavender. And so I'm going to do color. I'm going to put in probably 4 or 5 drops because this is, I want it to be a little darker, not too dark. And you put it in the part that you've already kind of mixed a little bit and then mix it up again a little bit. Okay. You might see some fizzle action, but that's okay. It'll go away. Okay, now I need my lavender, which I didn't grab, so let me grab it. And so this is my lavender. This is doTERRA's lavender. Now, depends on how much fragrance you want, but typically it's around 8 to 10 drops. So you can combine essential oils, but keep that 8 to 10 drops in mind. So I'm going to put in 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lavender is pretty potent too. And then I'm going to stir that around in that little bit that I started. And now I'm going to incorporate into everything. And for some reason, my purple looks like blue. That's not a cool thing. So I'm going to get something else, unless it comes unless it ends up being purple later after we mix it all in. Okay. It takes a while. Oh, I see it is starting to kind of turn purple. I was like, wait, this is supposed to be a purple. It has a purple lid, right? I'm not colorblind yet, I don't think. But you just keep mixing it up. It'll be like a wet sand is what it will look like. And once you get all of the ingredients together and mix it up very well, and I still don't see my purple. So I have an alternative to the color, which takes a little bit more, but you can get the paste food coloring from the cake part. So like if you go to a cake decorators area, like Michael's, places like that, you can get the paste, yeah, which is over here. Let me go get it. So you can get like these little bottles like this, and this is a purple, and I use the toothpick to get some color out. Now I've had this around for like, I don't know, I think a million years. That's how often I use purple. So it takes a little bit longer with this, with the paste, than it does on most, because this is just really super duper thick. And but I know I'll get purple. So lavender, why would I want lavender? Okay, well, lavender, and I've got it all over my fingers now. You see I have dark spots. Lavender is very calming. Most people know about lavender. So now I'm just mixing in my color, which is going to take a little bit of time. So when we are mixing in your color, like when you use the paste, it does take a lot more effort to get it in there. But lavender in itself is very calming to kids and to most kids. Okay, now here's what I will say. Some kids, it's an opposite effect. And what I mean by that is if you have a child, or if you are a little bit more on the ADD, ADHD, in other words, you just can't sit still, okay? If you're more on that end of the scale, then you probably don't want to use lavender, because lavender will actually give you the opposite effect. The opposite effect of that is you want to go more. It doesn't calm you down enough, okay? And so I have a cat at my feet. Not the dog this time, it's the cat. And so you may want to try, instead of just lavender, you might want to try like a citrus oil, like an orange or lime even, because that helps, whatever helps calm that mind, okay? But I can tell you that this is fun to put into the bath water, because the first time we ever did this, we have a granddaughter who's now 14. This has been a while ago. This is like 7 years ago. And she was over here a lot. She's not now. She's 14, right? She's got other things to do. We'd give her a bath with the fizzy, or we would just put like 2 or 3 drops of lavender in the water, and she'd get out. I was like, you want your dessert? No. I want to go to bed. I'm tired. It's like, wait, what? We thought that was pretty darn cool. So anyway, that's where we were with that. So now this is all, let me see if I can you even see this? It's kind of grand, like this kind of, yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but I'm going to take you around the corner. Now, first, before I do that, I use a tablespoon, just a simple tablespoon. And what I do is I pack it like that, just like that, okay? And it comes out in my hand like that. Now, it's not a complete ball, but what you want to do is you want to put that on wax paper, let it dry for about 24 hours, and then you can go get any bag you want, but make sure that it's not paper, because the oils in these the oils will come through in the bag, or like a paper bag. Okay, so it has to have a plastic bag or something along that line. So let it dry for about 24 hours. But I'm going to take you around the corner and show you what that looks like. So follow me. Hopefully you can see, because I made some last night. And I'll adjust my screen so you can see me. I'm coming all over the place. So anyway, this is, and you can see, this is what I've made. Okay, I have yellow, green, and I have blue. Okay, you can see the other ones. I think you can see them. Okay, so that's what I made. It's really fun to be able to do that. And I'm gonna go back into my kitchen. And sorry for all of the different screens. But when you are doing this for yourself and you are making things for Christmas, birthdays, whatever it is that you're making, think about your flavoring that you're using. And essential oils can be part of what you're doing, and incorporate a better way of putting a flavor into your foods, whether it's this kind of thing, whether it is your meats and other foods that you make. You can enhance it by using essential oils. And even if you're making like cinnamon rolls, I know some of us like to make homemade cinnamon rolls, put cinnamon in there. Use the essential oil cinnamon, like cinnamon bark we have, doTERRA has, and it enhances what you taste. Okay, so you really know that you're getting that entire, not just a fragrance, but you are getting the taste, and it's wonderful, and it's cost effective. So I hope you get some good information out of this, and this was totally let's see what we can do today. And I appreciate everybody being here and being a little bit patient with me. And thank you for joining me. And if you're listening to the replay, or if someone has invited you to listen to this, get with them and let them help you get what you need in your home at the best price. Because we want everybody to make sure that they are budget minded, because we have to be, right? And so that's another beauty about essential oils, is because, we have a lovely, doTERRA has a huge, wonderful loyalty rewards program, and it's great to be able to get what you need in your home, not only for your wellness, but for what you have in your kitchen and what you're doing. So again, thank you for being here, and we will see you again next week, and we'll see what else I can come up with. Always reach out to me if anybody needs, and we look forward to seeing you. And I will put my email address in the chat. In fact, I'll do that right now before I forget, and that way you have it. And I'm always available to anyone that would like to get more information if you don't have someone that you're working with. And that way you get what you need, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Again, thanks for joining me. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Thanks again.